any of you guys watched my last video, you saw where I bought a boat off a marketplace, the cheapest boat on Facebook Marketplace, and I took it fishing. Well, with a boat, you really need a trailer. I didn't use a trailer because the boat didn't come with one, but behind me right here is a trailer. Now, I did not buy this trailer. This trailer is actually on my dad's that he got back in 2001 for our John boat that we fished with in the lake in our backyard. Now, this trailer has been sitting over there in the woods since about 2001. I was born in 2004. So this trailer has been sitting in the woods since before I was born. And if I'm gonna go along with all my plans to turn my bass boat and turn my John boat into a bass boat, I'm going to need a trailer. So behind me right here is the newest project on the channel. I'm going to be fixing this trailer up from its final resting place over there in the woods. And we're gonna see if we can turn this into something really nice. So just to get a first little look at it, this thing is pretty rough. It's going to need all the wood replaced. But, I mean, the frame is there. It's going to need some new tires, of course. I mean, it's been sitting since longer than I've been alive. And it's going to need some wires run to the lights so that I'll have lights on it. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's a 0. This thing was last registered in 2000. So 4 years before I was even born. So this thing's going to need some work, but I mean, it's all there. It still rotates, so we might be able to save that. Probably gonna end up placing that because that is kind of an important thing you need. But yeah, the whole thing is here, so it's definitely fixable. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that fender off, make it easier to replace the wheel and probably the wheel bearing too, because I don't want this thing falling off as I'm going down the road. So first I'm gonna do is take those 2 bolts out and remove that fender. Ew, nasty. All right. Wheel bearing seems to be okay. It's all there, so we're just gonna leave that. Just gonna leave that in there. That's nasty. Okay, so a little update. It is now the next week. We had to order some online, but we got 3/4 shaft, 3/4 straight shaft axle, and yeah, I went all around town, but nobody had these in stock, so had to order them, but these should work. They're the exact same size tire and everything, so yeah, I'm gonna slap those suckers on and see how they look. There we go. There we go. Pop the dust cap back on. Well, try to. There we go. There's one side done. Okay. There we go. Shit, this thing's in there. They come in pre-packed. It's nice. I can just slap it on there and call it done. So, that's right. 30-year-old Baron grease on there. There we go. Simple as that. You don't want it to be on here so loose that it's just kind of spinning around like crazy. You want it to have a little bit of resistance. Something about like that right there. Next up, gotta replace the coupler on the end of the trailer so that it'll actually go onto my truck. So I'm gonna get this thing taken off, and it should be pretty easy to switch it out. Darn thing. There it is. No washers on them. That's kind of odd. There we go. Should just pop off there. Heck yeah. Just like that. I got brand new bolts, so it shouldn't be a problem to get this thing on there. Just line them up. Really? This is in the way right here. It's not sitting down far enough. All right, hold on a minute. I gotta pull this off now. Well, the safety chains are in the way, so I had to take them off. But, so we'll have to locate them somewhere else, which ain't that big of a deal. It's not a rocket science, but now that allows us to get these bolts lined up really nicely. It's pretty janky, not gonna lie, but it'll work. All right, so now that we made it to home base, we can actually work on the trailer. So everything that we did already was just kind of rigging it up to get it to the house. I mean, you got to have wheels and tires on it to make it, but yeah, everything else, especially this up here, these are the only two bolts holding the tongue on, whatever you call it, because the bolts did not line up. So like this is just holding the chain on right here. That's not really structural or anything. And that is because the holes didn't line up and I didn't have any drill bits. So all we could do is get two of them on there. If you look at it, it's kind of an angle upwards for me towing it. But yeah, not permanent at all. We just have to, just got to make it home. You know what I mean? Obviously, the next big thing is you want to get registration, of course. This thing has not been registered since 2000. I was born in 2004, so very old trailer. There's no tail lights, so that is obviously something that we're gonna have to have. It was a little sketchy making it over here without them, but you got to do what you got to do. So yeah, I think the next thing is I'm gonna take that tongue back off up there and then drill some holes to actually get it to work and figure out the safety chain and whatnot. Then I'm gonna pull this wood off and I guess I can start sanding the frame, get it ready for paint, take all that stuff up there off. Yeah. So this thing was so old that luckily every single bolt just broke off. And that since we're not reusing these boards, like, you know, it made it really easy to take it out, you know. I mean, this one unscrewed itself, but yeah, that's about the only one. That one and one other. But the rest of them just broke, which made it, you know, really easy to just take them right off. Well, this is kind of what we're working with right now. I got it all tore down. I got all the bolts taken out that was holding the wood in, and I just broke every single one of them off because it's not worth trying to just back them out or anything. But yeah, I mean, we just got a bare frame. So next we'll be we're gonna sand it down and we're gonna paint it. So that will be awfully fun. And yeah, all my old wood, gotta get rid of that. But yeah, probably gonna be it for today. The sun's starting to set and I got a lot to clean up. So yeah, I'll catch you guys probably next weekend. Well, it is a new day and another day to work on the old boat trailer. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, and these holes don't line up. So we're gonna have to re-drill some holes and yeah, get that fitted up there. Should be pretty simple. While we're drilling holes, we're also gonna mount these tail lights. We're gonna mount them right here on the corner, just like that. There'll be enough room to clear that bar right there. So that way we will be road legal. The other one sitting right over there. Yeah, after we mount that, we're going to get prepping the frame for bed liner. So got a fun little mission for today. So hopefully by the end of the day, this thing will not look like crap anymore. So I'm gonna get to drilling some holes and then we'll get to sanding. Now the factory holes are slightly off, so now I'm gonna have to take my drill bit and kind of split the difference between the two so we can get a good just a good surface to mount into. So just like that, we got all the bolts drilled, the holes drilled for the bolts. So yeah, we're all set to go. So, got both tail lights, and we got the tongue up here. Now, the reason I wanted to drill the holes before I painted it is because you want to get paint up into the holes that you drilled so that bare metal doesn't rust in the future. So you always drill your holes, do everything like that before you paint it, so that paint gets on the inside. And it just adds corrosion protection. You don't want your holes to rust out. Just makes it better for the long run, you know. So yeah, I think now I'm gonna take everything back off, and I'm gonna fire up the air compressor, and we're gonna get to sanding this thing. Well, I'm gonna start with some 80 grit and get all the flaky off. Then I'm gonna run back over the whole thing with some 180 to kind of smooth it up. I also got some wire brushes, so if there's like some hard to reach spots that I can't get to, I can get the wire brush in there. But yeah, I'm gonna get the air compressor going. I'm gonna start with some 80, and then we'll go from there. All right, everything's all sanded. I definitely could have gone more in depth to it, but at the end of the day, this is just a free boat trailer. I'm not spending all my time and money on this thing. But now I'm gonna pull it around front, and I'm gonna pressure wash it, get all the dust off of it, try to clean it up the best as I can before I spray it. Probably not gonna record pressure washing it because y'all don't care about spraying water, but yeah, I'm gonna get this thing all cleaned up now. All right, pressure washed it off. I used some soap and a brush, got it all cleaned up, let it sit outside for a couple hours, and now we're gonna spray this thing up. I'm gonna put some paper over my brand new wheels so they don't get ruined. And yep, what I'm gonna use to spray is some of this Herculiner truck bed coating. I figured that would be very low maintenance, you know. Ain't gotta worry about it getting scratched up or nothing like that. Just something I could spray and not even wash it, just call it done. So yeah, I'm gonna get some paper, mask up my wheels, and I'm gonna start spraying this sucker. Well, it is now the next day, and I am super proud of how this turned out. It doesn't even look like it's the same trailer anymore. I like it how it's not too glossy, and the bed liner will be extra durable, you know. It's not gonna go anywhere. See, we got the winch over here, got a little bit on the rope, but it's just a rope. Got the fenders, you know. Yeah, I am super happy with how this turned out. I went ahead, kind of mocked the lights up on there. Those look good. Went ahead and got this bolted on. That looks really good. Yeah, I am super excited with how this thing turned out. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get those lights tightened up, and I'm gonna mount those on there. And then after that, I think we're gonna probably reuse that wood right there. Find some new 2x4s for that. Reuse that. Might go ahead and slap those on. And yeah, just kind of tinkering around with it, you know. But man, look how good this turned out. Doesn't even look like the same trailer. All right, well, I'm gonna quit yapping. I'm gonna get to work. 2 different size bolts. Well, it is now a new day. I think we're a month into the old boat trailer. Now on the old one, not the old one, but how it used to be, it used to have 2 pieces of wood running across it like this. But I don't think I like that as much. So I think we're just gonna take this right here and we're gonna cut it to, so instead of it going across, we're just gonna mount some pieces on right here. I think that'll be a lot better instead of having it like this. Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna get the measuring and I'm gonna get the marking. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. This has been like a month-long project in the works, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. Only thing I'm waiting on is I'm gonna wire up the lights, but I'm sure you guys don't want to see wiring because I think that's super boring. And I'm waiting on my safety chain bracket, which is right here, to dry. I forgot about it, so I just painted it, but that'll bolt up right underneath there for the safety change. But yeah, I'm super happy with how this turned out. This is only temporary. I'm gonna replace this with metal, but wood's all I had on me at the time, so I just went ahead and used it just to kind of make sure it's all gonna fit. But yeah, I am super happy with this. That's how this turned out. And I'm glad you guys got to join me for the ride. So I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.